Radio Raheem here with the Jackal, Carl Frampton. First and foremost, I got to congratulate you on being Fighter of the Year. It's a huge honor. You made a hell of a statement in the boxing world. And on top of that, you got Ring Magazine cover. Like, all these things are coming your way. Let's take a look at the cover. Bring it on in, Mike.
Thanks, Mick. It's amazing to see my face as the Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year. That's, you never dream of that. You dream of world titles, but who could have predicted this? It's been a great year, and I'm very honoured, very, very honoured.
It's an honour bestowed on many legends over the years in this fight game. How does the fighter make magazine cover?
Well, it's not just a cover, it's the Fighter of the Year, obviously. What Carl did was very special. He fought his local rival in a huge fight in hostile territory, won that fight, then immediately moved up in weight and fought Santa Cruz, also in hostile territory, and won that fight. It's just not done very often, and so his accomplishments in 2016 made it a fairly easy decision.
Well, thank you for that. Great thanks to Ring Magazine for participating in this wonderful cover, man. What he just said is what brings on golden eras in boxing. It keeps fans engaged. You won this title. You edged him on the cards. You didn't necessarily have to take the rematch. Why did you decide, I'm going to fight him again. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to prove it one more time?
Well, I did, because there was a rematch clause in the contract. But in saying that, I'm a man of my word. I says to Leo that, and this is the truth. There's no bullshit here. I enjoyed the last fight, and Leo gave me the chance to fight for his title. If there was no rematch clause in the contract, I would have happily fought him again. I think that this is a fight that the fans enjoyed. It was a top quality fight, action-packed, and that's what I want to be remembered for. I want to be involved in exciting fights, memorable fights that people won't forget about in 5 years, that they're still talking about 25, 30 years' time. And I think, again, this is going to be more of the same.
And to your point, there's a rematch clause, but as we've seen recently, guys are willing to vacate titles, willing to take a different weight division to get out of them. So for you to take on a challenge like this again, if he's going to come in smarter, as he says, he's going to maybe try to box more, brawl less, are you ready for everything? And do you think that there's any new threat in this fight that didn't exist in the first?
Well, he says he's going to box differently. I think that psychologically I have the edge in this fight because I beat him, because I hurt him in the last fight, and throughout the last fight, the first one, he never hurt me. But whatever he comes with, I believe I can deal with it. I believe that I have a better boxing brain than Leo. Leo is a come forward, aggressive fighter. He bullies his opponents. He overwhelms them. He just outworks them and ends up beating them up and stopping them a lot of times. He can't do that with me. And if he wants to box from the outside, I think that makes it an easier fight in my favour.
With the attention that'll be bestowed upon this fight, being Fighter of the Year now, Ring Magazine cover, this is a lot more money. Is there added pressure to perform better, to even get a knockout for sure, because now people are expecting more of you?
Yeah, well, not to get a knockout. The pressure's on, obviously, but I just want to win the fight, and I believe I'll do that. But I want to prove that last year wasn't a fluke, that last year I deserved to be named Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, and I'm a deserved champion. I believe that there's still doubters out there. Ring Magazine Fighter of the Year, and I still have my doubters, but if I beat Leo Santa Cruz and in convincing style, hopefully I'll have shut the doubters up, and 2017 could be even bigger than 2016.
When a guy is in a position like yours, there's a target on his back. Other fighters want that fight as well. Assuming you are successful here, as you've predicted that you will be, there's Rigondeaux out there, for instance, who's a very difficult fight, but people say he's not exciting, so the money's not there. What's most important to you, to take on the greatest challenge, or to take the fights that make financial sense, and if guys can't meet that mark, then so be it?
Well, first of all, I want to be involved in exciting fights, but I've got 2 young kids and a wife at home. And I want to make their life secure after boxing. So this is a tough business, and you need to be financially rewarded, and that's the way it is. And I want to fight the guys that make financial sense to me, that make me involved in exciting fights that the TV networks want to cover, and that get my name out there even more. And whoever that may be, if the money can come up for a Rigo fight, I'm happy to fight him. I'll fight any man. I don't fear anyone, but it needs to be financially rewarding. And that's the way it is.
The money would probably be there for a Shelby fight, being two UK fighters. You guys could get in there and mix it up. Obviously, that's been discussed. Are you thinking that would be the most sense for your next fight? And how does that matchup look to you?
Yeah, I think that first and foremost, I want to fight in Belfast next. I think if you look at the champions in the featherweight division, Oscar Valdez, Gary Russell, I think both guys would be difficult to bring to Belfast. I think Lee Selby would come to Belfast, so I don't want to look too far ahead. Me and Selby both have business to take care of on Saturday night, and if we can get the job done, that's a fight that I'm interested in. But the important thing for me is, again, to be involved in exciting fights, but I want my next one to be in Belfast.
You mentioned Gary Russell. That is a great matchup. I think fans would really appreciate that. What is it about him you think that stands out that makes him a better challenge for you?
I think he's a class act. I love his style. Someone who I respect and admire greatly. Very fast hands. Typical American style. But I think that out of all the champions, I think that he would be the most difficult fight. But again, I'm ready. If that fight makes sense, and I'm ready to fight him.
Right now, you are definitely one of the two most popular Irish fighters. They've got a long history of Irish Americans in the boxing game, making an impact. But when you look at the fans being willing to travel to Las Vegas and support you in the way that they have, what is it about you, other than being successful, which is important, that you believe they attach to? What connection do you have to your fans that makes you special?
I don't know. I think that back home, they just get behind their sportsmen, and look at what McGregor's doing. He's taking it to another level, and he's bringing thousands upon thousands of people out to Vegas, and wherever he goes, he's a huge name globally. I'm not quite there, but we have completely different characters. McGregor is a great personality, but a completely different character to me. But the fans will support him.
Do you have a relationship with him? Do you guys know each other?
He sends some messages and stuff from time to time. He always wishes me luck before I fight. He sent a video message, a private one, wishing me well against Leo the last time. So Conor's a good guy, and he's playing the game. He knows what he's doing, and I hope he's making a lot of money out of it. And you know what? Fair play to him.
Now, that big money payday, obviously, has been chasing Floyd Mayweather since you brought him up. Usually I wouldn't talk this because it seems like a ridiculous situation, but I don't know, if that fight were to happen, how would you see it going? Would you encourage something like that? Would you want to see that in boxing?
I wouldn't surprise me if the fight happened, but it's the top MMA fighter against the top boxer. It's two different sports. McGregor can box, but look at what Mayweather does to people. He made Canelo look almost average. Canelo's an outstanding fighter. Floyd Mayweather is just a different animal, different beast. I think both guys, I think that would sell better. Sounds absurd, but it would sell better than Mayweather Pacquiao. Both guys can make a lot of money, but there's only one winner in a boxing ring. But if you put it in a cage, then there's only one winner there as well. So
just for a minute, we touched on Pacquiao, Mayweather. He's a very defensive fighter. You obviously have a lot of respect for Mayweather. Pacquiao seems to be more aggressive. That's more his style, which seems to look a little bit more like you. What's your preference? Which fighter do you like the best? And who do you think owns that era?
Both fighters you have to respect, and just because I have a more of a similar style to one of them doesn't mean I like them more. I named my dog Manny, so Manny Pacquiao is one of my favourite fighters, but I greatly respect Floyd and what he's doing. A class act. Floyd's very clever. He's changed his style. If you look at how he used to fight, as he's got older, his style has changed drastically. Very, very, very clever. Great boxing IQ, and one of the greatest of all time.
And lastly, you talked about the money that Conor McGregor has been able to make. He does it a lot. He's a very entertaining guy. Again, kind of like Floyd, he has a lot of things to say that brings fans, people who want to see him win, people who want to see him lose. You've managed to build this fan base being a pretty class guy yourself. You don't jaw jack like that, and especially with the spotlight on you now, you may be able to pull more money in doing that kind of thing. Why do you not do that? Or how does your character differ from guys who take that route?
It's just not me. I don't know. I don't think I would get away with it in Belfast. They don't really like that a lot in Belfast, and that sort of attitude and that behaviour. But McGregor can do it, and he can pull it off, and he gets away with it. I don't know, I'm just being myself, and people seem to like it, and I'm picking up a fan base, and that's the way it is.
If you were to visualize Saturday night, just all things going exactly as you planned, how would it turn out?
I win and I get my hand raised at the end. If I get a knockout, that's brilliant. That's a big statement, but I'm prepared for a tough night, 12 long, hard rounds.
Radio Raheem with the Jackal. Carl Frampton, Fighter of the Year, Ring Magazine cover. Congratulations. Can't wait to see you at the MGM Grand on Saturday night. Good luck, man.